Hi everybody, Rob Woodbridge from Untethered.tv, where we get inside the business of mobile. I'm joined by Sam Feuer, who is the founder of FastMall, Mindsmack.com, Mindsmack.tv, and so been doing this for, when did you start Mindsmack, Sam?
Decades. No, I've been doing it since 1998, 1999. I founded, at the time, what was called Pro Banner Ads, which was actually, my idea was to create interactive elements to advertising at that time, which was really like, GIF banners, GIF banner ads. How can we, it was sort of the beginning of Flash, and what can we do to get people to actually click upon these banners and get more conversion and more click-throughs at that time.
Yep.
So that was very exciting to try to figure out different ideas and things. And I know Punch the Monkey was actually one of the banners back in the day, and we built other banners where you can punch things like with kangaroos.
Wait. You did Punch the Monkey?
We didn't do Punch the Monkey, but that was one of the leaders. That was one of the leaders in the Flash space.
Yeah.
We did the banner that I came up with was actually for one of the first music download companies based on Wall Street, ironically enough.
Yes.
And so basically what we did was I put a play button on a banner ad, and that was the first time anyone, or that I believe, put a play button on a creative. That was on a GIF banner, and so it looked like a little radio.
Yep.
And the idea was that people would click on it and do something. They would think that, perhaps that it would press the play button and music would just go ahead and start playing. We didn't get that far yet, technologically.
No.
So I was, putting that on there, and it was amazing. We got like a 14+% click-through rate, and then about a 10 or 11% conversion on downloads, and that was like, unbelievable at the time. So we started putting play buttons on everything that we could do advertising-wise. And it was really kicking ass back then. It was really cool. And from Pro Banner Ads, I just kept trying to do the best of breed type of visual experiences for people. And I don't know, maybe it was 2002, 2003, where I met Marcelo Moyano, who I always admired his work from a company called Wide Group.
Mm-hmm.
And I had him do some freelance work for Mindsmack at the time. And I was always amazed at his quality of work and, visual stuff. Flash interactivity. He won all kinds of awards over the years. He's been doing this as long as I have, but much more on the creative, interactive side. And, I merged with him and he and I together make an amazing team as far as creating visual experiences and making things really high impact. It's funny that we do iPhone applications and things like that because you can't view it on the iPads and the iPhones that we love so much.
Yeah.
But that's, we could talk about that all you want. I really believe that they should allow it in some aspects, perhaps through an approval process, something like that for the more elite type of sites that aren't going to crash the browser or the phone or whatever. But we'll see what WWDC brings next week. I'm excited about that. I'm actually sending Marcelo to that. And we actually are creating an app for the WWDC, but not something that we're going to submit to the store, just showcasing FastMall's technology for a conference, which will give, show people what's going on and or where the bathrooms are. You can actually shake your iPhone and find the nearest bathroom and then take into it, which to me is, I've had people call me and email me from all over the world, actually. We've got malls in, I think, 8 or 9 countries now. And they're all saying, I shook my iPhone for the bathroom. I shook this. I've shaken my iPad for the bathroom, which is a whole commercial and a whole thing I want to do with a cartoon or something. It's a really cool thing, and we wanted to use different pieces of our Mindsmack experience to take into FastMall, which would be something like shake your iPhone and find the bathroom, which is, something funny, and it's really cool and functional at the same time. I don't have to hit any buttons, initially. I can just shake my phone, and then the bathroom icon will drop onto this map. And then it'll actually take me turn by turn to the bathroom.
Well, so let's talk about this for a second because
Sure.
let's talk about FastMall. So give me the pitch on FastMall. For those people who haven't heard of it, you launched. You've been developing this for over a year. You launched it at Christmas, but you really haven't done any kind of marketing push behind it at this point. But let's talk about it.
Yeah, nothing major. We could do ad campaign, things like that. My goal initially was to see the public's reaction to it, and there's an education to it because there are other mall mapping applications to some degree, and what they do is basically steal a JPEG image from a mall, website and say that they've got an interactive map when they drop a pin on the store, and our app just begins at that time, and the app ends right there. So we'll actually take a user from let's say they're Nordstrom and they want to go to Chick-fil-A. We'll actually take them turn by turn, and if your signal fails while you're on the trip, the app actually will stay open and still function. And again, we're not using GPS. You basically tell us where you are, and then we'll tell you how to get to where you want to go. So FastMall came about in a very intriguing way. My wife was 6.5 months pregnant with our first son, our first child, named Max. Actually, the character from Mindsmack, just so people know, his name is Max, and I named my son Maximus, and we call him Max, obviously. And he loves the Max character. I always show him the intro and the other fun stuff that we create, and he loves the character, always points to it, and it's so much fun. Such an amazing thing to be a parent. So anyhow, off on a tangent. What happens is my wife's 6.5 months pregnant. We're actually at the mall, and she needed to find a bathroom like stat, And I'm like, okay, let me try to figure out, because I didn't know where it was besides inside of an anchor store, like Macy's or a Nordstrom or whatever. And then once you get in there, how the hell do you find where you need to go anyway? You have to try to find arrows and weird things and what have you. So after maybe it was like 15, 20 minutes of trying to find, asking employees where the bathroom is, she's like, after we found it, obviously, and she came back, she's like, Sam, you have to make a mall bathroom finding application. And I'm like, all right, we could do that. And, probably, 5 minutes after I get a map, we can certainly drop a pin on a restroom location. That's no big deal. So after delving into the idea a little bit and thinking about how shopping malls in general and retail was struggling, and is still struggling, honestly, how can we incentivize the malls and try to do something better than just to drop a pin on a restroom and then take you there? The idea was, let's build all of this interactive and get people excited about not using the kiosk where they have to find a kiosk first and then find and try to read the fine print and see what's going on in around 28 people that have no idea where anything is. And it kind of all spawned from there, and we built it initially using GPS. And I went to the King of Prussia Mall in Pennsylvania, which is a huge mall. It's actually 2 buildings of a mall. And there's like a huge walkway in the middle and all this. And the signal kept failing. And, I was going to release it probably 7-8 months before we did.
Yeah.
And when I went there and I tested it, I just couldn't believe how awful the signal kept failing. And, we're in a structure and everyone's going to, I couldn't put Mindsmack's reputation really. And why do that to people? Why give them an app that I was going to charge maybe $1.99, $2.99 or something like that, that's going to fail on? And, that was something that technologically and just my own, vibe, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to find a way, if we could, to make this really functional and cool and helpful for any genre of person. Because I've gotten grandma call me, I've gotten grandma email me, I've gotten the teenagers call and email, and I've got people checking in at malls all over the place.
Yeah, I see that.
Just like I love Foursquare in a way. Mashable actually coined us the Foursquare of malls, which I thought was kind of interesting. That's cool and all. I've spoken with Dennis Crowley about potentially working together. They have an API offering different types of things for check-ins, which could be cool.
Yep.
And we're looking at that. But the idea really is that we incentivize that check-in with the mall store. So if you check in at the Gap or you check in at any mall store, it doesn't matter what it is, or restaurant, or the mall itself, let's give you something for doing that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where this application will win as we progress. And obviously being on other platforms like Android, which we're going to launch very soon, which nobody's really, nobody really knows that until this taping, but we're pretty close to launching Android. And then BlackBerry will actually follow, because we've gotten thousands of requests for that as well. So we've got almost 100,000 users already. And again, we really haven't done any, major advertising or anything like that. We just wanted to get the public's feedback and try to do what the public is asking us to do if it's technologically feasible. And
so really it's a very rich application. Like you can see that certainly there's a lot of effort that's been put into it. I love the shake for the washroom.
Mm-hmm.
But talk about the development process for this.
Sure.
Has it really, have you spent 9-10 months developing this or longer?
Yeah, actually, it's been longer than that. It's been over a year of development. It's cost over $1 million of my own capital that I've raised to do, not really raised, I've just, over the time of building Mindsmack, I've looked at different opportunities to sit on the board of X business or doing different things. And for me, the technology, once I realized that we can do turn by turn without GPS, knowing that we can do it for conferences,